Hello all, we just came in off for a break, so I wasn't sure if we were rolling or not. I'm Ali. It's been a year since I first spoke about Lilypad at ECC in Paris last year, or Phil Dev there as well, maybe. So I'm kind of excited to be sharing the progress we've made with Lilypad projects since it started here at Protocol Labs, and why I kind of think it's an incredibly important part of the overall collective vision we share here for a more equitable and accessible open technology and infrastructure stack. I want to address something quickly though. AI isn't hype. It's not just a buzzword. What we're kind of witnessing here is this all-encompassing zeitgeist advancement in history. It's on the scale of the printing press or personal computers or the internet, maybe even more so. And AI can really help us solve some of the most pressing challenges of our era, from diagnosing diseases with unparalleled accuracy to predicting climate change patterns, making our cities smarter, and providing other scientific breakthroughs. It's also going to change how we access or search on the internet. I wonder who will be affected by that. How we work, live and learn, and with personalised learning experiences, for example, and provide us with our own 24/7 personal assistants, something I'm looking forward to. AI will radically transform and disrupt our society at scale across almost every aspect of our lives. But for AI to provide this meaningful and democratic public good, it needs to be accessible to everyone. This means we need open infrastructure that allows for broad participation, innovation, and the equitable distribution of AI's benefits. We take a look at the current state of infrastructure though. We have a scenario where there's only a few dominant players, so it makes for an effective oligopoly on storage, on compute, and on infrastructure. And this, as most of the room's probably really aware, inhibits accessibility, makes for inefficient and anti-competitive markets, and establishes attack vectors, as well as choking innovation pipelines. And it's many of these same powerful players who have the access to a vast amount of data and powerful compute hardware that are also currently dominating the AI space, and are even in some cases pushing for regulations that essentially mean that all AI models should be closed source and proprietary. True story. So there's a lot of risks to the AI centralisation model, and look, I'm a practical person. They've obviously contributed a lot to pushing the space forward. I just think it's in our best interest to be making sure that we are building infrastructure which is competitive with it, and it doesn't become left to just a few corporations to do so. So just like scientific breakthroughs shouldn't be gate-kept or controlled, access to AI and AI models shouldn't either. So what we need is fair and open access to a technology that's really going to massively change our society. And this is something that we're hoping to play a part in at Lilypad, to help co-create this vision for distributed, crowdsourced, open compute, and a vision for building a decentralised and actually open AI stack. So we're building basically coordination incentive layer for idle compute hardware. One of our key differentiators is that rather than being a time-based marketplace of GPUs, so where you would hire a GPU out, you would set up the infrastructure you need, add the models to it. Instead, we're trying to leverage a job-based ecosystem, which provides the advantage of opening up this kind of decentralised marketplace for models. So almost like Hugging Face, but with payment rails for compute models, alongside a user being able to monetize their own work, so providing fairer value across the entire stack here. At our core though, we're providing a way for compute providers and people that want compute to access it as they would, and help democratizing this AI access. So decentralised systems aren't just good from this ideological perspective, they also offer a host of other benefits, some of which I've kind of alluded to, but they include cost advantages, providing better reward mechanisms, and fairer distribution. So one of the big problems at the moment is access to GPUs at a reasonable price. And it's not just... Access means, can you go to Google and spin up a GPU and use it? And at the moment, that's not exactly true. And if you want a cluster of GPUs for a higher level job, then you will need to fill out a form and go and try and do that. If you want to buy a bunch of NVIDIA GPUs, again, you'll have to be approved to do so. So there really is a pipeline here that is being controlled by centralized players here. So this can really choke open source AI ML and new market entrants from being competitive in the market as well. So startups can be deplatformed, or by the time they get access to these GPUs, their idea isn't useful anymore, and both the cloud and the NVIDIA are the arbitrators on who's allowed to have these products. We look around though, and especially in this space, GPUs are everywhere. We're just not allocating them to the market very efficiently. And if we're looking at even where Apple is going with their Mac 4, it looks like that chip could even feasibly run AI models, which is a pretty exciting place to be. So more efficient use of hardware and better market dynamics is better for accessibility, for pricing, and even for the environment to a degree, because productively allocating resources we already have available is a good thing. So what's also interesting when we're talking about open source AI is that open source AI and ML can also outcompete the centralized versions. And that's because they're able to define, you're able to define use cases and fine-tune more easily on less data points. And you also just have subject expertise on your particular area. If you are involved in the legal space, you have access to that data and you have subject matter expertise on that that you can help fine-tune to, or know where the problems are. If you're in the health space, same thing. So a lot of the time it's, like democratizing access, like when the Arduino came out and we had all these people developing their own IoT things, it was the same thing. Open source is able to target where this common good lies better, like the Arduino's revolutionized hardware. So a flow-on benefit from this is better pricing and global hardware distribution. So by distribution as well, a lot of the data centers that we have currently are located in specific places. With a tool to coordinate the GPU layer with the demands for compute, we can provide better distribution in these in different areas as well. So in both practical and ideological terms, distributed compute networks like Lilypad can provide a lot of benefits to the market and can give open source AI and new market entrants a viable platform to compete from as well. So I just want to dig into how it works. So first, we're live, we're running. You can go ahead and try us out. You can jump on to our docs. You can try out a few of the jobs we currently have available. But under the hood, we're operating on actually currently the Arbitrum ecosystem, but we're fully EVM compatible and will be multi-chain in the future. It's built in Go and Solidity, so it offers on-chain guarantees in the compute system with off-chain compute, because you can't run AI jobs on an EVM chain yet. Who knows in the future? So it also uses IPFS as a hot storage layer for jobs and job results. And if anyone here remembers Bakuya, we're using Bakuya, the peer-to-peer compute network, as an executor of our jobs under the hood as well. We operate, like I said, we operate on a job-based ecosystem. So that means we have modules. So a module is just a GitHub repo that defines a compute job. So it's basically a containerized job with a spec on the top of it to tell Lilypad which GPU it should be matched to and what to run. So these module jobs can be Docker containers or arbitrary WASM. So like I said, what's great about the module system earlier, it provides this flexibility to users to define their own parameters as well, or take one out of the box if they like. So you can run your own compute jobs and tell that job what it needs to look like. Because you can pull in data to these jobs as well, it's going to be interesting once we can kind of provide privacy on some of that data to see potentially models made out of different siloed data ecosystems coming into be run on Lilypad as well. So this module marketplace also allows you to kind of monetize a model if you wanted to. If you have a really popular model that everyone wants to use and you spend a lot of time on it, then you can monetize it. which is one of the great things about AI and crypto, actually. It does distribute value a little bit more fairly, and it provides this horizontal space for doing so. We have a few modules already available. You can try out as well if you want to. And access. So this is another thing I think that people are underestimating. People want to be able to access their AI in easy ways, and I think this job-based ecosystem makes it really easy for us to do that. So we can provide almost an API layer or almost a serverless experience for running jobs, any kind of jobs. And you can do that from currently the CLI or a JavaScript wrapper or trigger smart contract jobs from a smart contract either. So the ways that we want to make sure that we're accessible and meeting people where they're at. We're also kind of committed to providing a full stack for decentralized AI. So compute is only one part of the puzzle of decentralized AI. Like building a competitive alternative to the kind of vertically integrated systems that are out there is going to take kind of everyone, a village, right? Everyone interested in doing so, participating. And this is why events like this are so great as well. We're actively partnering with people across storage, across privacy, people building out model ecosystems and data streams, of course, as well, and agents. I think the previous talk was on that as well. So that's going to be a really interesting thing to see. We have a few use cases that are already being built out on Lilypad. One of them is this rare compute use case. So rare compute is trying to solve really rare diseases. So they are trying to create this decentralized science project that enables them to share data across different universities without showing that data and compute a model to it, which is able to bring those resources together and help save lives, basically. So it's a pretty amazing compute project. I think they're here at ECC too, if anyone wants to meet up with them. We're also doing another use case. This one is with Textile Basin. We partnered up with them to... so at the moment, there's a little bit of a problem in creating new models because they've run out of data to train those new models on. So one of the ways they're solving that is by creating synthetic data. So we've partnered with Basin to create a synthetic data pipeline where we run the jobs and models, and Basin provides the storage and queryability for this Basin thing. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in the Basin talk tomorrow as well. And all right, so if you do want to contribute to the network, we have launched our incentivized testnet. So we're currently onboarding GPUs and community members to the network in order to provide a stable, reliable platform for people to start building more things off. So if you're interested in contributing a GPU to the network, go ahead and see our incentive net documents, and you can see how our point system is going to work as well. A little bit of a timeline for our incentive net. We'll do some GPU onboarding, but then we are aiming to also incentivize other parts of the ecosystem, like the modules, building the jobs that people are going to want to use to do that. Plugins and integrations. We are committed to making sure that we have seamless kind of plugins and integrations to other ecosystem partners like storage and data, like I said earlier. And then eventually we'll move towards APIs and SDKs in October, November, and we're hoping to launch our mainnet towards the end of the year. So that's what's next for Lilypad. Hopefully you can join us on this mission, and I look forward to seeing what you build and contribute to Lilypad.